You won't believe there's still a place on Earth music. A secret island hidden in the middle of the Pacific Ocean to reach is like walking back in time music. It's one of the most isolated human settlements on Earth so far music. No planes can land here, cruise ships can't even get to this island music. Even on Google Maps, this island is still inhabited by about 50 people. This is Pitcairn Island in the middle of an endless blue sea of volcanic rock standing with its head raised. Shrouded in mystery, almost unchanged by the touch of time and music, almost unknown to most of the people of the world. But the question is how this island was created. How are these 50 people living so far from civilization? How is their daily life? And this island still hides some secrets. Today, we will enter that unknown world, where every day is a different story. So please watch the full video. And new friends must press the subscribe text on the side and select the music all option of the bell icon. To reach the nearest airport, you have to travel thousands of kilometers to Tahiti or New Zealand. From there, the real test begins. Music to board a slow supply ship that sails day after day across the chest of the Pacific Ocean, huge waves all around, sudden storms, and only water as far as the eye can see music. There are no rescue boats. No islands can be seen in the vicinity. It seems as if civilization has fallen behind a long time ago. Just then, a jagged green mountain suddenly rose from the middle of the void. Rocky mountains rising from the sea, dense forests untouched by man music, and water so clear that a boat can see down to the bottom of the ocean music. Approaching the island, it seems as if the world has forgotten about this place music. Most tourists never make it here. There are no resorts here, no tour guide music. There is not even a proper jetty. The islanders themselves will take you to the shore in small boats, fighting against the strong music waves. The moment you set foot on the island, one thing becomes clear, that you are no longer in the modern world. Approximately 50 people live on Pitcairn Island. Only music, 50 people on the whole island. Not 50 families, just 50 lives. A small population where everyone knows everyone's name. Knows the story, knows the past. There is no supermarket, no hospital. There is not even a music police station. There is only one school, one church, a small post office, and music a general store, which is open only 2 days a week. That's if supplies don't run out then. So the question is, how can only 50 people survive on this remote, almost isolated island? And the answer lies in self-reliance. Most families on Pitcairn Island grow their own food. Banana, papaya, breadfruit, raw and sweet potato. Chickens roam freely throughout the island. From there the eggs are found. At dusk the men went to the steep edge of the mountain and cast fishing rods into the deep blue water. Fresh tuna and wahoo fish are their main protein sources. But there is no natural fresh water source in this island. Neither river nor stream. So we have to completely depend on rainwater, which is stored in the tank. Here every drop of water has a price. Bathing becomes difficult during drought. Water should be used very sparingly. Electricity comes from solar panels and small diesel generators. If a generator breaks down, there is no question of getting help from outside. There is no repair shop here. No online shopping facility. Music, no express delivery. So the people of the island take care of everything by themselves, often with equipment that they have already discarded. Any scraps that are available are used to make new machines. Here can become a piece of old iron. Life-saving equipment. Nothing is wasted here. Everything is repaired until it is completely immobilized. In such a small society, every person has to take multiple responsibilities. Today you are a farmer, tomorrow you are an electrician, sometimes a mechanic, sometimes a cook, and sometimes a nurse. Living in Pitcairn is not alone. It is completely a collective effort. Here everyone depends on everyone. The communication system here completely surprises the people of the modern world. There is no mobile network, no sales service. There is only a slow, expensive satellite internet, which almost stops working in bad weather. An email can also take minutes to load. Video calls are considered almost impossible. Sometimes the internet disappears completely day after day. The most reliable means of communication with the outside world still depend on radio and the post office. A small wooden house where letters arrive every few months. Food comes in the same supply ship, medicines, and fuel. If someone sends a parcel from abroad, it takes weeks to arrive, even up 2 months. And if for some reason the supply ships do not arrive on time due to storms, mechanical problems, or economic problems, then the whole island comes to a standstill. Everyone was waiting for the ship. Yet despite all these limitations, the people of Pitcairn are impossibly innovative and deeply proud of their tiny homes, so close to each other. Music. Yet the real mystery is how only 50 people got to the island in the first place. And that story is totally different from any other story in the world. This story begins in 1789, on the deck of the British ship HMS Bounty. The ship was destined to become one of the most infamous ships in history. The long months of tension, the patience of sailors was once broken while living in harsh regime and inhumane environment. Led by Fletcher Christian, some sailors with him declared mutiny against their captain William Bligh, which became known in history as Mutiny on the Bounty Music. The rebels took control of the ship and pushed Captain Bligh and some of his loyalists out to sea in a small boat, but they knew the British Navy would never let them go. They had committed a crime that was punishable by death. So they needed a place where the British would never find them. An island that no one goes to and doesn't even exist on a map. They found Pitcairn Island, a remote volcanic island that was completely invisible to the outside world. Was hidden. The island's location was incorrectly marked on maps of the time. As a result, it becomes more difficult to find. It was a perfect refuge for the rebels. The mutineers brought Pete along with a few Polynesian men and women. They knew there was no going back. So they make a final decision. The ship HMS Bounty was burned. This will destroy the only way to leave the island. Likewise, the possibility of seeing a ship from a distance also decreases. A new secret world is also born on the barren hills. But the beginning of this new life was terribly difficult. Conflicts, tragedies, and power struggles between Europeans and Polynesians continued. Resources were few and the loneliness was suffocating. However, despite these hardships, a new society was gradually formed. Families are formed, children are born. And music carries the blood of two cultures from generation to generation. Today, every person on Pitcairn Island has found their roots. That first rebel music was between sailors and Polynesian men. Christian, Young, Brown, Warren. These surnames appear in every cemetery, in every family music genealogy, in every room. But the mystery of this island does not stop only in history. For centuries, the position of the island hid it from the eyes of explorers, from the eyes of the government, and even from the hands of pirates. Although countless ships have sailed the Pacific Ocean for years, most of them did not realize that an entire human society was built on this single volcanic rock. Pitcairn Island itself is a living book full of mystery, many pages of which are still open. Carved into the island's rugged cliffs and caves are ancient Polynesian symbols, strange shapes, music, and ankabuki, the meaning of which is still not fully understood. Some of the caves are deep underground chambers where ancient visitors once performed religious rituals or left offerings to the gods. Archaeologists believe that these symbols are centuries older than Pitcairn's current society, meaning that ancient sailors arrived here long before the mutinous sailors. But still many caves are undiscovered, sometimes too dangerous, sometimes too deep, and sometimes the music so mysterious that no one dares to go down there. The islanders still tell the story of a strange light suddenly appearing over the sea on a silent night. Music echoes from the mountains when no one is around. And even from the calm sea, the huge waves that come up without any warning are like the sea itself is alive. These legends have been whispered from generation to generation for over 200 years. But perhaps the biggest mystery is how this small group of people survived being isolated from the rest of the world for so long. Most settlements are lost and most societies collapse. But Pitcairn is adamant. For more than 230 years, these families have retained their identity, their heritage, and their deep bond with the land and sea. Even today, the future is uncertain. A total of 50 people live on the island now. The population is gradually decreasing. Young people moving to New Zealand to study or work, and many don't want to come back. Island authorities offered free land and a quiet life to attract new people. But it is this profound loneliness that scares most people. If the new population does not come, one day this society will be in danger of disappearing. Some fear that Pitcairn will one day become a deserted island, where there will be only broken houses, silent forest, and the sound of wind and sea. Yet for now, those who are living their lives just like that, as their ancestors lived, with an indomitable mindset, creativity, and an unbreakable bond with the mysterious island. Every day they wake up to the roar of the sea and walk along the